Nanga Parbat, or Nanga Parbat, not sure how you say it, is a two-player game where players are going to be playing Sherpa, different types of Sherpa people. And you're trying to set up camp in these different regions, trying to explore, get different types of animals. I don't know why you're trying to get the animals. Maybe you're trying to just make them your pets. Don't know, but you're trying to collect different sets of animals, trying to get as big a base camps as you can, because you want to be the best community of Sherpa. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go down to the table and see how my awful explanation plays out. All right, so here's a game of Nanga Parbat, or Nanga Parbat. I'm not sure how you say it, but whatever those two words are together, that's how you say it. All set up. It's a two-player only game. So to set up, you're going to give each player their hikers, which will look like this, little hiker meeples, some camps, 5 scoring cubes, well 6 total, but one of them is going to go here. You're going to give each player a player board, which is right here, and then you're going to put the animals, different types of animals out on the board in all of these different spaces, and whoever's going second gets to place this guide, the region guide, down. And that's set up. All right, so now we're going to just play. So playing is pretty easy. On your turn, you're going to do a couple things. First thing you're going to do is you're going to trap an animal. So the way that works is, first player, which we're going to say is orange, is going to take an animal from one of these sections in this region. So let's say they want to take the black one. So they're going to take the black animal. They're going to put it on their board right there. I'll explain a little bit more about the board in a second. Then what they're going to do is they're going to take one of their hikers. They're going to put it on region 2, and then they're going to move the guide to region number 2. And that's going to be the region that the other player gets to play out of to trap animals. Then what they're able to do is they can build camps or trade in animals. So to build a camp or trade in an animal, you need to have 3 adjacent hikers on the board, at least 3 different animals on your player board, or 3 of the same animals on your player board. Then you can catch them in, put one of your cubes up here, score some points on the path. That's that. All right, and then the final thing you're allowed to do sometime on your turn, doesn't matter when, is use a special ability of your animals. So I'm not going to go into all of these, but they're pretty self-explanatory. So this is let you exchange 2 different hikers. This will let you swap an adjacent hiker with an adjacent animal. This will let you swap 2 animals from anywhere. This will let you move the hiker to a different region. Blue animals have no special ability except for they're wild, so they can be used for any animal when trading in. And red, if you take one of those and you're in either equal to or less than in points as your opponent, you get to go up a point. So that's how all that works. All right, so they don't want to use their animal right now, so it's going to stop. So it'll be purple's turn. They get a start by trapping an animal. So what do they want to take? Black ones are definitely the best. And all the names of the animals are in the rule book. I can't ever remember, but we'll just call that black animal. So they're going to take that as well. They're going to put one of their hikers on 5. And then they're going to move the hiker, the guide down to region 5. All right, so then orange is going to take a red, and they're going to take a red from here, put their hiker down here. Now, because they took a red, they're at equal to or less than points than their opponent, so they will get to move up 1 on the path. They can't cash anything in yet. They don't have any adjacents. They don't have 3 different animals yet. So that's that. Now they're going to have to move the guide to section 4, so back over here. Then it's purple's turn, and they want to take a blue because blue's wild. So they'll go ahead and do that. They'll put their hiker on 1. The guide will go up to 1, and now it is orange's turn. They're going to take blue. They're going to come here. They'll put a guy on 1. They will move the guidepost. Well, he'll stay at 1 because we took from section 1 of the region. The guide will stay there. Then what we're going to do is they're going to cash in some animals. So they have 3 different animals. The blue's going to actually just function as a blue. So they have 3 different animals that they are cashing in, and they're going to take one of their cubes. There are 2 sections for 3. So if you're the first person to score, you should definitely take the highest one. So they're going to go right here. They're going to get 5 points. And that is how you do that. All right, so you're going to kind of do this until 2 things happen. One of 2 things happen. Either someone's all out of their scoring cubes or all their hikers are gone. Both players. So once that happens, the game's over. So when the game's over, you're going to just see who is farthest along the path and they're going to win. So let me talk about how you do a camp. So let's just start down here. So I'll take these off. So let's just say these were scored already. And orange had hikers here, here, and here. Okay, so they had this. So they have 5 adjacent hikers. So on their turn, what they could do is they could mark their 5 camp. So they score 6 points. I know that I'm just faking this game, it's fine. 6 points, so that's 12. Then what they're going to do is they're going to get rid of all their hikers. And then they will put the camp tokens down to let them know that they have set up camp in these regions. And there's some alternative scoring that you can do with camping. I'm not showing you this here. It's pretty straightforward. Just going to look at each region and score who has the most. But it's in rulebook, self-explanatory. But basically, you're just trying to get you want to get bigger camps because you're going to score more points. So you're just trying to maneuver the guide in a way that you can get the animals that you want to use special abilities and do some set collection, and get your hikers in such a way that they're adjacent to each other to score a big camp. And that's how you play Nanga Parbat. Let's go up the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was Nanga Parbat, not sure. That's the 3rd time I've done that. Pretend that I didn't say it. So yeah, this is a really fun 2-player game. I've covered a lot of Dr. Finn games on my channel, and I really enjoyed the 2-player ones the most. So Institute of Magical Arts, Biblios. There's some other ones that I can't remember because I'm awful at thinking about this stuff on the top of my head. But this one is very fun. Basically, all it is kind of a set collection game and an area majority game. But the interesting thing is you kind of want to pay attention to the animals that you need because you may want to use their special powers. So sometimes you're going to take animals that you don't even want because you want to use a special power, which is really interesting. Another cool thing is that when I take an animal, I'm moving the guide to a region for the other player to take. That is tricky. Sometimes I may take an animal just so that goes where I know another player doesn't want to go. So it's kind of it's an easy game to play. It's super easy to play, but it's thinky. Knowing where you want to move the guide, what kind of animal you want to take, where you want to take the animal from, when do you want to cash in your sets of animals to score points? Do you want to try to get more? Do you want to do it now before someone else does it? There's a lot of thinking going on in this little, simple, easy to play game, and I dig that. Now, keep in mind, what you saw here, I keep pointing down here like you can see that, but what you saw in the playthrough was all prototype components, all 3D printed, so all these little animals are just little 3D prints, but I still think they're pretty good quality. Like, if I got the game and it looked like this, I'd be pretty happy with it. I mean, yeah, the rule book shows that the colors are supposed to be blue and pink for the hikers, and they're purple and orange, but whatever. I mean, this game has so few components that what it gave me is cool. As long as it has shaped meeples, I'm good to go. So, as per usual with Dr. Finn games, I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10 on BGG, 4 out of 5 on the arbitrary wrench scale. And once I get a final production copy of this, it's going to stay in my collection because it is a good time. I like this one quite a bit. So that is Nanga Parbat from Dr. Finn's Games. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.